just play your game. You said yourself, if you lose the matchup, you can't win. So just play your game. You've got this, man. I believe in you. You can take out this whole team. There's no one in this team that can beat. You can beat everyone. We are clearly in a good position to win the whole thing. Clearly. Why? Because there are no teams that can definitely say they can beat us. There are no teams.
Nobody in Europe could beat me. I could go there and like go to different countries and beat every single one of them without losing a game. If it was just based upon my skill level, I will win every single major in Europe, and they know that too.
The weakest team? Canada.
カナダチームがちょっと
I think Canada is weak. I think we're the weakest team, honestly. But no. We're underrated team. So we're underrated.
Counter.
Thank you. So, what you guys saw at home right now is a little project that we were working on when we went out to Canada, right?
That's right. That's a sneak preview. It is being edited right this second. The Canada Cup 5-on-5 International Exhibition. As you can see, we have some behind-the-scenes footage. And I'm really excited to see how that turns out.
Really good stuff. But right now, this is the moment that everybody's been waiting for. I'm going to bring on my younger brother, my personal friend, my uncle, the best Marvel 2.75 player in the galaxy, Fanatic, ladies and gentlemen. Good, man.
Thanks for coming on.
Wow.
Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, well, thank you for coming down. I mean, you know, what you been up to? I mean, the game just came out today, so why are you here?
You know, it's an interesting question. I mean, I'm shocked somebody able to pull me away, but well, I guess it came out today for most people.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
Most people, I guess we won't get into that. You know, Fanatic has his ways
Right,
of getting his hands on an early copy.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah,
Of course, always.
So, you know, I'm hoping everybody knows by now that you are a premier Marvel 2 player.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people, may not know you. Like, people who are new may not have followed you in Marvel 2.
Right.
But maybe you can talk a little bit about some of your big Marvel 2 matches. And when I say big, that's like the understatement of the century.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Well, I mean, let's see. I participated in, I guess, the very first huge high-stake match I did. It was for $26,000.
Say what now?
Yeah, it was a whopping 26K. And that was versus Texas's Tone. And then, you know, he bodied me. It took my pride for a little bit.
What was the score?
10-7? Yeah, it was 10-7.
Damn.
And yeah, I was getting bodied in the beginning.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I caught my mojo, but it was a little too late. And then, so I got bodied. And then, so actually, I think it was a record for fighting games at the time. For
That
the
was.
biggest money match. Yeah. And, it was, you know, I was known as the biggest loser, right? And
Without shedding a pound.
Right. You know, so I was very, very, very disappointed. And then we decided, well, we're going to run it back. But if we're going to run it back, we got to do it big.
Ooh.
And
how much bigger can you get from 26 grand?
You know, you shouldn't be able to get much bigger. And you might think I'm about to lie with this number, but it was a $50,000 money match on the run back. Yeah.
I don't even know what 50,000.
I know. I was gonna say. I'm like, I've never even seen that much in somebody else's bank account.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's
And,
a picture or two out there.
And how'd you do?
I bodied this business. No, actually, it was pretty close.
Okay,
It was close. It was 15-14. Now you got to understand, though.
God.
I was down 14-11, and I had to come back 4 games to win that match. But I held it together and, you know, did what Fanatic does. And
Yeah, that's
came
crazy.
back and won that. Yeah, no, it was an amazing moment.
So, how does it feel now? You know, you've been, you know, playing the biggest money matches that anybody's ever seen, and now you've kind of like set your, you know, your throne aside and step back down to humanity. and entering, $100, $200 tournaments here and there for like Marvel 3. I mean,
practice.
for practice. We practice here.
Right.
I mean, are you having fun with? Let's talk about Marvel 3 before we get into Ultimate. You picked up Marvel 3. Well, I didn't see your name so much like in the first couple of 2 months.
I was like, where's Fanatic?
Yeah. What were you doing?
Training in the lab.
Okay.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm one of them research type. You know what I'm saying? So like I was sitting there and I would watch every tournament out there. I'd read every article, everything. You know what I mean? I was just gathering information because I feel like when I finally come, they're gonna be ready. They're not gonna be ready for me. They're gonna think, oh, he's still picking MSS. How is he? You know what I mean? What is he doing?
Right.
And then I got up in there and started bodying folks. And then it was like, yo, where is this coming from?
Okay. See, now here's something interesting, and I think a lot of people can learn. I don't like to give props. They can learn from you and actually admire this. Is that you are the epitome of the player who is technically doesn't have a scene, right? Around you, because you're from SoCal, but you live in Lancaster.
Yeah.
I
For
mean,
those
I don't know if
that
you
don't
want
know,
to put your business out
Sad
there.
to say, right?
But it's like, and out there, it's 14 hours away from everything. And
that's about as far away as you can be from SoCal while still being in SoCal.
So you weren't playing online, or were you?
No.
Okay. So you weren't playing at big gatherings with all the other Marvel heads like Justin and stuff like that?
I didn't play any.
So how did you get better?
Study. And look, I believe like training mode, right? Like if you put yourself in your opponent's mindset, like, all right, I think people would do this in most situations. Because a lot of the bad tactics that some people carried over from Marvel 2.
Right.
So I would think, I'm going to play this game as much like Marvel 2 as possible. So I would do training mode and I'd do resets and you know what I mean? Stuff like that, and just practice, just what I would do in actual situations. And the more I practiced it, and I'd watch match videos, and as a perspective, from an outside perspective, I could look at matches and say, oh, they should have done this, or they should have did that. And so it just helped me to get better just from watching. And that was my secret.
Because you're like, this dude, we know. I mean, of course, we've known you for a long time, but like in terms of Marvel 3, it looked like you just showed up to a tournament like 5 months late.
Right.
And then, you get like top 3 or something like that. You're winning Wednesday night fights tournaments and stuff like that. I like to see that because, Fanatic, you're that dude.
Thanks, man.
Real dude.
Yeah.
And the second is the team you're using.
Right. Team Godlike.
What?
Team Fanatic.
Where's Wolverine?
Yeah, where's
Akuma?
Dark Phoenix?
You know what?
How can you make anything work with Storm? I don't understand. How is this possible?
And Nerf Sentinel.
Yeah. You know what? It's like this, man. I think there was advantages to that. So people are used to what people tell you. Like if someone tells you got to play this way, you know what I mean? And that's what everyone gravitates to. But I am a completely unconventional person, not only from the team I'm using, but to the device I'm using to play my team. I'm not going to, like everyone will tell you got to play on joystick. And it's like, nah, I think I could rock it with that pad, right? It's
I
like
that.
you can't use MSS.
So ignorant.
I respect
but
that. I respect that.
All right.
You see what other people are doing, and they try to convince you in a way you're like, nah. Because do you think that it's all in your head? Like you could do whatever you wanted to do, or play whatever team you wanted. I mean, do you think that if you really wanted to, you could play like, I don't know, like a Beautiful Joe team? Like if you really had a passion for Beautiful Joe, is that possible? Really?
Absolutely.
On pad?
On pad. You know what? Look, there is nothing that a stick player can do that a pad player can't do.
I'm not going to dispute that.
Right.
Except maybe Mash Out of Tempest in Marvel 2. But anyways.
He went there,
I'm so good. Anyways. I want to talk about Ultimate with you.
All right.
How do you feel about the game?
Oh, no, now we got, you done hurt my heart mentioning that game. All right, I love Marvel 3, vanilla. I love it.
What would you rank Marvel 3 in terms of like the other fighters that you've played, such as Marvel 2?
All right, best fighting game of all time, Marvel 2. Second best fighting game of all time, Marvel 3.
Okay.
11th best Marvel fighting game of all time, Ultimate Marvel 3.
I don't understand.
This is interesting. So why? What is it about it?
Like, I don't know. In my I just feel like the direction they pushed the game. I mean, I get it. Like, when they removed DHC glitch, I'm like, oh, we're still in there.
That's
I'm
fair.
all right.
That's good.
Yeah, that's good. You know what I mean? When they raped how much meter you gain, I was like,
that's even better.
I don't know about all that. You know what I'm saying? I was a little salty. Like,
I mean, how much meter do you really need?
In Marvel, you need a lot, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you want to kill folks, and that's what I want to do. I want to kill people. Like, I'm not trying to get in there and slap you around a little bit. No, I want to just off you. As New York would say, I want to earth you. You know what I'm saying? I want your gut.
What is a TH?
Right.
Anyway, so now I noticed you got a YouTube channel. Now it's youtube.com/askfanatic.
Right.
Where you help people out. Are you actually helping people, or are you just?
Yeah.
Like,
What are they asking you,
Yeah.
and what are you telling them?
Man, like, all right, my goal is to help people, you know, because I love teaching, to be honest with you. I mean, I'm not like on that clockwork level. I ain't teaching, but I mean, I love teaching people things because I love learning, and I think teaching is an amazing way to learn. You know, when I tell someone like, hey, this is the best thing to do in this situation, it engraves it in my brain. Like, well, I can't not do it now that I told him. And so, you know, it creates better habits for myself as well. And so, I feel like I know that there's a lot of players out there that don't live in SoCal, and even though I live in SoCal, you know what I mean? I think of myself and how I'm in the middle of nowhere. So I'm like, I got to be able to help other people who are in the middle of nowhere, because there's a lot of people who tell you, oh, well, if you're not in SoCal, you're not going to get good. You know, and people tell you if you're not using a stick, you're not going to get good.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I wanted to start kind of helping people like flip that switch and turn it on and recognize, like, wait a minute, there's important things that I can learn on my own, and I can show at the tournaments and body folks, you know?
Right. Do you?
Nice.
I mean, you want to have the honors to do this?
Yes, I always wanted to do this.
Okay.
I believe we have a clip. Do we have a
we
clip?
have a clip.
Really?
We have a clip. We got a clip.
I think we got a clip.
We got a clip. We got a clip.
Take
We got a clip. Yeah.
Take a look at this clip. Take a look at this clip right here.
Clip.
Someone who's brand new to MVC3, where should I start? What are some of the core fundamentals you think I should work on? I want to put a few hours a day into it, but I'm not sure how to make my time count. Okay, so if you're new and you're trying to get into Marvel 3, it's probably the most complex of every fighting game out there. It's going to be harder to get into than most games, but you can shorten the learning curve a lot by watching videos. You want to find what characters are actually good. Like, for instance, Thor is awful. You don't want to play that character. I mean, I know there's some Thor enthusiasts out there, and you can make whatever you want work, and you can take that character as far as you can take it. But Thor as a character is actually pretty bad. So you don't want to just start out brand new into a game that's already been out for a little while and people have already gotten good at, and start with the worst character in there. You know what I mean? So find out what characters work, and then you want to go. And what I do when I'm first trying to figure out a game is I go into the trial mode, and I'll practice all the combos with every character, and then from there I'll start going into training mode and trying to figure out what combos do a lot of damage and things like that. You want to get your execution down. So I'd say at the beginning, really, it's just start studying, like watching a bunch of match videos, and then spend as much time in training mode and gathering information as you can. Read up on the guides, the threads, and for whatever characters you want to learn, find out who plays that character and study their gameplay and figure out what they're doing and start and try your best to apply it. And you'll shorten that learning curve, a lot. Like, instead of you having to learn from their mistakes and all that, you can bypass that and go straight to the good stuff. So that'd be my advice there.
Well, very good and interesting stuff, Fanatic, although I think some of that information wasn't valid about a specific character, but we won't go into that. How about we take a break, get you set up so you can show us what you're talking about. We'll come back to some live action.
All righty.
Cross counter.